If you've ever attended a wedding, church crusade, or birthday party in Nigeria, chances are that you sat on the same kind of chair, a white stackable plastic seat. It's so common we hardly notice it, but behind that simple chair lies one of Nigeria's most successful local manufacturing stories. An industry quietly worth over 116 billion naira, or about $80 million. These monobloc chairs, as they are called, are made from a single mold of melted plastic. They are durable, lightweight, and built for Nigeria's kind of life: weddings today, church services tomorrow, and a neighbors meeting next week. From Lagos to Kano, from Owerri to Sokoto, they are part of our social fabric. But few people realize how big this market really is. Every day, factories across Nigeria produce thousands of these chairs to meet a demand that never stops. The same chair you sit on at a family naming ceremony might have been made in a factory just a few kilometers away. In a country where most industries struggle with imports and unstable power, the humble plastic chair stands as proof that local manufacturing still works. The story of this chair began in post-war Europe. In the 1940s, French designer Henri Massenet experimented with molded plastic furniture. But it was in Italy during the 1970s that the design we now know as the monobloc truly took off. It was stackable, easy to make, and nearly indestructible. By the 1980s, Nigeria joined the trend, first by importing the chairs and later by producing them locally. As the economy opened up and as the population grew, the demand for affordable seating exploded. It wasn't long before Nigerian manufacturers realized that this wasn't just furniture, it was an opportunity. In Lagos, companies like Ryder National Plastics became early pioneers. Founded in the late 1960s, Ryder began producing monobloc chairs in 1978 using injection molding machines that were imported from Europe. Today, the company manufactures billions of chairs every year and recycles over 12,000 tons of plastic annually, turning waste into wealth while saving Nigeria billions in foreign exchange. Furthermore, Alltech Industries in Ibadan and dozens of mid-sized factories in Aba, Onitsha, and Kano joined the race. Aba's famous area market became a mini hub for molded furniture, with small producers using recycled plastics and modified designs to meet specific customer needs. Some added logos, armrests, or bright colors for weddings and churches. This local twist transformed what began as a European innovation into a truly Nigerian industry, built on creativity, affordability, and relentless demand. At first glance, a plastic chair looks simple, but behind each one is a business network that supports thousands of jobs. The cost of producing a single chair ranges between 3,000 and about 3,800 depending on resin quality, energy source, and labor. In the market, these same chairs retail between 5,000 and 6,500. That's a profit margin of over 1,500 naira per chair. A solid return when a single factory produces 30,000 to 60,000 chairs every month. The raw material behind this industry is propylene resin, much of which is imported. But as the naira fluctuates, depending entirely on imports is risky. That's why many factories now blend virgin resin with recycled plastics collected from dumps, gutters, and homes. In cities like Lagos and Aba, informal recyclers, often young men pushing wheelbarrows or carrying sacks, collect used plastics and sell them for 7,000 naira per 50 kg to middlemen. These middlemen then supply granulated plastics to manufacturers. This informal supply chain now supports an estimated 15,000 to 20,000 workers nationwide. Demand, meanwhile, is endless. Nigeria hosts millions of social and religious events every year, from Lagos Owambe to church crusades in Owerri and political rallies in the north. Event planners, decorators, schools, restaurants, and even government agencies all rely on plastic chairs. The market even has its own segmentation. Bright white chairs are for formal occasions like weddings or conferences. Colored chairs dominate restaurants and school halls. Branded ones, often embossed with a business name or logo, are used by beer companies and campaign teams. The success of this industry doesn't lie in one big factory. It lies in hundreds of small and medium manufacturers spread across the country, each contributing to a national production chain that never sleeps. I think this is a perfect example of what Nigerians do best, which is finding opportunity in the ordinary. Still, the story isn't all smooth. Beneath the surface of this plastic empire lie real challenges that could shape its future. The first is power. Manufacturing plastic chairs require large injection molding machines that consume steady electricity. But with frequent grid failures, most factories rely on diesel generators. By mid-2025, diesel sells for around 1,250 naira to 1,400 naira per liter, which is eating into profit margins. During fuel scarcity, production often grinds to a halt. Then there is import competition. Cheap plastic chairs from Asia, especially China, continue to flood the market through unofficial channels. Some imported versions sell for as low as 4,000 naira, which is undercutting local manufacturers who face higher energy and logistics costs. While some argue that competition drives innovation, many Nigerian producers call for stronger enforcement of import duties to protect local jobs. But perhaps the biggest long-term issue is plastic waste. Nigeria generates over 2.5 million tons of plastic waste annually, with only about 12% recycled. Broken or discarded plastic chairs often end up in landfills or are burnt in open air, releasing toxic fumes. Environmental groups are urging the government to create a proper recycling and disposal policy for plastic furniture, one that could extend the life cycle of materials already in circulation. Agencies like the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, have started reviewing durability standards, but enforcement remains weak. For now, the burden of sustainability falls mostly on private companies. But the truth is that there is some good news. Innovation is coming and you can also be a part of it. Across Lagos and Abuja, design labs are experimenting with eco-friendly materials, mixing recycled plastics with fillers like sawdust, coconut husk, or cassava starch to make greener furniture. Some companies like Alta Industries are already developing prototype chairs using up to 40% recycled high-density polyethylene. If this is scaled successfully, this approach could make Nigeria a model for sustainable low-cost manufacturing in Africa. The other opportunity lies in exports. Thanks to African Continental Free Trade Area, Nigeria now has access to a regional market of over 1.4 billion people. Countries like Ghana, Togo, and Benin import thousands of plastic chairs every year. With better logistics, quality control, and branding, Nigerian manufacturers could dominate this space. And there's room for technology too. Some engineering startups are using 3D printing and computer-aided design to produce custom molds faster and cheaper. Imagine being able to order chairs with your event's logo printed right into the plastic, made and delivered locally in just a few days. I believe the potential is huge. The story of Nigeria's plastic chair industry is the story of quiet strength. It's proof that even without massive foreign investment or government incentives, local industries can thrive when driven by real demand and everyday necessity. Each chair represents more than plastic. It represents jobs, innovation, and resilience. It reminds us that made in Nigeria doesn't have to mean complicated or high-tech to be powerful. Sometimes the strongest industries are built not on hype but on consistency, practicality, and an understanding of people's real needs. So next time you sit on one of those white plastic chairs at a wedding or meeting, remember you are sitting on a small piece of Nigeria's manufacturing success story. Quiet, resilient, and stronger than it looks. Thanks for watching this video. I'm Isaac and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.